As an astrologer, what I have found most commonly when I read somebody's chart for their Chiron placements is that the words that come out of my mouth give validation to their experience of traumatic things and where they've been abandoned, where they have experienced loss, betrayal, things that are often remain unseen. They're hidden. And when I go through and look at all the timings, basically it's going through your entire life and seeing when Chiron made impactful alignments on your chart. The most common thing is that every single one of those alignments was a time in the person's life that something big was happening. And usually it is like, that's when we moved and I lost all my friends, or that's when my parents got divorced. So there's usually a theme of abandonment, loss, betrayal, and things that are heavy to deal with. And these themes, when we put them all together, give us a sense of what our wounding is, and it shows us what our superpower is. This is something that I have found most gratifying as an astrologer, to help walk people through something that has been a traumatic story for them, and taking the trauma and not making less of it, because life is full of traumatic experiences that we get to have the opportunity of reframing those into power stories instead of keeping them as how we were victimized. So that is something that I like to do personally. And when I first discovered my Chiron placement, that was a moment when I was able to do this work for myself. It got me, I wrote a book. I really got more into the other side of what the pain was about, into what the power is about. And I passionately want that for everybody who I come in contact with, whether it's somebody who comes to me for a professional reading, or my friends, my clients. When my clients, I'm a body worker since 2009, herbalist. When they come to me and they're having some kind of crisis, I always refer to the chart. And if it is related to, it's usually related to Chiron, Pluto, or Mars. And it just depends on what the crisis is. Sometimes it's a Saturn thing. But if I can look at the chart and show them what's happening and what is the best way to work with that, to me, that really just makes my day. That really is gratifying for me. So me and Eric, Big E Astrology, are teaching a course on Chiron on November 15th. It's $32. It's going to be on Zoom. Eric is really phenomenal with his brain power and how he's associated the planets with people, and has such a crazy memory. It trips me out. Like, I need to look at things, but they're in his brain and he just closes his eyes. He's blind. So he's got it all stored in his brain. And so we are going to be reading people's charts. So if you come to our class, you are going to get your chart read, and we're going to walk you through these things in a group setting. And I also am going to be giving away my workbook and giving away this really, really powerful, I would say it's a beautiful slideshow that I put together for a live presentation that I did at the San Diego Astrological Society. So it's a PowerPoint presentation, but within that PowerPoint presentation, you can help yourself, but also other people. There's so much information in there, packed in a way that's very visually stimulating and not overly wordy. So come to the class. You're going to get access to me and Eric together talking about the wounds and what has happened in your life. Eric's really good at that. And then how to turn that into medicine. That's my specialty. And then you'll get a reading, and you'll get to see how we work through this with other people in the class. So hope to see you there.